League of Legends continues its push into other genres today with the release of the Mageseeker on the Switch, and it's the third release expanding upon the world. First up we had Ruined King, that was exceptional. Hextech Mayhem was just okay, that was a rhythm game. But how does this new release from the team behind Moonlighter fare? Well, that is what I'm here to find out. My name's Alex, this is SwitchCorner, let's get started. If you do enjoy the video today, consider subscribing, it helps out the channel a huge amount. Now as a preface to today's review as well, I have played all 3 of these games on the Switch, but I have a little time with League of Legends directly. Thankfully, I'll add up front, that is not required to enjoy any of these games. In Mageseeker, you become Sylas, a mage who inadvertently harms a farmer and his family at a young age due to a lack of understanding around your magical powers. Sadly, magic in this world is frowned upon, and the Mageseekers, they are in charge of suppressing magic users to maintain public order. As a result, you're going to spend the next 15 years locked up in prison, and you're living exclusively on a diet of rats, but gotta add here, judging by Sylas' size, these must have been some juicy rodents. Now as the game begins, you manage to break free from captivity. Now you must use your abilities to free the land from the oppressive grip of the Mageseekers. While the story is decent and provides more insight into the main character and those in power, it focuses on a small, likeable cast of characters, and it's not quite as epic as I did expect. Mageseeker is a top-down action RPG that introduces Sylas and his abilities quickly and consistently throughout this 10 or so hour journey. Now opening, you are introduced to the basic control scheme, a movement, a dash which provides invincibility frames, and then a light and heavy attack that deliver a reasonable amount of damage. Quickly, however, it introduces alongside this the aforementioned magic, and that's truly where this game succeeds. These are simple to use, they attach to the D-pad, and they are attached into a mana meter that's filled by beating down upon your opponents. This game, it is elemental based to 6 in total, so you'll really need to understand which attacks deliver maximum impacts. Where it gets really unique with the magic, however, it's how you gain them. First, you must meet an enemy who leverages them, and then you can steal their abilities and use them a single time. It leads to a lot of creativity in battle, where you can see how you can essentially, or potentially at least, use enemies against one another. A simple process too, you'll aim your chains with the right stick and then press the left trigger to commandeer their abilities. It leads to action from the get-go that feels just a little extra strategic. You can also use these abilities to pull down trees, to straighten environmental switches, and even grapple towards an enemy, which is particularly satisfying. The controls don't end there either. As you overcome missions, you'll be saving mages along the way. Think of this as minor, almost rebellion base building. Some will populate your village, others will be support characters then on the battlefield. Each mission you can choose a squad before diving in, even if for the most part you only ever see Sylas on screen as well. This is incredibly important. My favourite was a fire mage who unlocked a devastating fire beatdown effect following a grapple move. Look at these characters almost as new combos to leverage in war. It sounds complex, and honestly, considering how basic it initially starts, it for sure moves very quickly with introducing new things, but I actually found it overall just intuitive throughout, and I thought the learning curve, it's just right for picking up the different inputs. Alongside this then, we can level up Sylas in a number of ways, again at the camp area, but characters we meet, they do set up stores. Some will unlock magic abilities permanently, or at least those that we have come across. Others allow us to tackle past levels again. Some allow us to level up Sylas in different ways, think extra mana, health, damage and defense. We can also level up items such as health flasks, their usage count, and those will be essential to success. This is all achieved then with an in-game currency that can be collected during levels, and the majority of enemies do drop this. Mageseeker, basically, it has a really great handle on where its strengths lie, and each level is smartly designed to maximize your creativity around using it, from enemies that require specific hits to take damage to locations that do contain multiple secrets. These levels, they are linear throughout with a few branching pathways, but I actually think that's a good thing, as it allowed the team to give you a constant sense of variety in the action that is taking place. The best way to describe the levels would be explore, get locked in a small arena location, the game actually blocks you in, now you must slay everyone in sight to progress. It's a format that is well tested, let's face it, but at risk also of becoming repetitive, so they definitely do a good job of fighting that, and that is thanks to the large selection of enemies ahead of you, but also then that evolving skill set. Bosses are a particular highlight, and I found some of them personally incredibly challenging, but to complement that, thankfully Mageseeker has fantastic difficulty options. You know, there's the usual easy, medium and hard, but then there's also sliders that allow you to tweak your health bar size, the damage delivered, and the same thing then for the enemies, making this game playable by any skill level. Outside of the core missions, then you can explore the camp, and while this is mainly a hub to upgrade and acquire new abilities, you can speak to those that reside here to learn more about this world. Additionally, you will get the option to tackle some optional quests for reward, and you can even send squad members to complete tasks on your behalf in again return for rewards. I think more loot or maybe more followers. The compromise here, however, you can't take them into that next mission with you, which will change the way you have to play. I always feared, for example, losing my fire ability. Problems, not a huge amount honestly. I think the majority here is strong work. They do on occasion use the dash to clear gaps in the world, and you'll basically fall and take damage occasionally. That feels a little finicky in my opinion, especially when they incorporated it into a boss encounter. Also on that note, a few bosses they do repeat as well, which felt unnecessary given its linear design. Finally, the performance, it's not locked, it's targeting 60, but it is variable, so you will feel that constant change. This one, it tends to sit between 50 and 60 frames per second. Overall though, for gameplay, I've been having a lot of fun, and I continue to find myself entertained by this world and these characters. Visually, I think it's stunning. Yes, it's another pixel style game, but I think it has a unique look. It's more detailed than most, also not quite as blocky. It feels like visually it's had some smoothing done to the edges, adds a unique artistic spin to the formula. Locations are often incredibly detailed as well, and you'll be going everywhere from major cities to magical forests to the hub location that is particularly impressive as it grows out. Enemies then pack the same amount of variety as well, with them coming in multiple sizes. And then both our own and their attacks, they look particularly impressive with some seriously flashy deliveries. I do wish the game had more dedicated cutscenes like the opening sequence. Here it is going to be mostly talking heads or use of the in-game engine. Audio then, and it mostly wins in this arena. The music is strong with some particularly epic moments as the story evolves, and attacks and weapons, they sound good with a decent bit of weight behind them. That said though, it is not perfect. I would have loved a more environmental sounds to really bring each location to life, and then the lack of voice acting, that is definitely disappointing. It's basically voiced for the opening cutscene, the sequence, and from there then it's reading only, and I think that it would have benefited hugely by adding this final element. Overall of the Mageseeker, I'm a fan. Thanks to games like Ruined King and the Netflix show, I was excited for this release, and it hasn't disappointed. Sylas is a fantastic character, the Mageseekers are intimidating, and the overall design and constantly evolving skill set definitely do like it. It's rounded out then with some solid world design, entertaining enemies, and a selection of difficulty options that should be accommodating to everyone. For me today, it's a great 8 out of 10, even with the frame rate fluctuations and shorter than expected runtime, around 10 hours. I had a huge amount of fun with it, and once again now, I find myself excited to see where they take the series next. So will you be checking out the Mageseeker, a League of Legends story? Let me know in the comments. With that, hit subscribe, join us here for reviews, deals, lists and news daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.